Well, good evening, everybody, and Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea. This is Dennis, and I'm with Fluno, and
Good
this
evening,
is
everyone. Again,
this Garage Talk Live, and it is what is it, February 11th? Oh
yes,
my
it is.
dear Lord, it's almost that Hallmark holiday, Valentine's Day for you suckers that still have to go buy stuff. Um, but this week there's a lot of new car news, not a lot of older car news, just because it's winter time, so a lot of this stuff doesn't happen. I do have hey, what about Al? How you doing? There is a there was the car show in Detroit, and but they were, for old car stuff, they're really not announcing anything much, and just haven't really heard much. But the one thing, all the news stories that I'm seeing lately about is that we really don't have good CEOs of our big three. I'll use big three. We don't have good CEOs, because I'm working on a video right now about Lee Iacocca, and love or hate, Lee Iacocca at least took a stand and literally went, yeah, this is the way it's going to get done, because that's Chrysler's way. Or when he was at Ford, it's Ford's way. And it was him, because you look at across the thing, Filosa, I'll give a pass for now, because he inherited a disaster from Tavares. And honestly, Stellantis is a flaming train wreck, and we'll see we'll see the that damage that was done there. And then we have Barra at General Motors, who's just a government plant. And if that board actually had any independence, they should get rid of her, just over the SUV engine problems, because Jesus, I mean, that's a lot of recalls. They can't even fix all the engines. Um, but the one that really puzzles me is Farley at Ford. I mean, he almost tries to always snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. It almost like he wants to fail, and I just don't get it. You literally had the car company that had all the markets, all the right stuff in the right markets for the longest time, and you didn't go bankrupt in the Great Recession. You had enough Warrenthal to stay independent, and yet you took all that and you flushed it down a toilet. And you're going to see that we actually have a few stories on Ford, because it's actually downright embarrassing how these new CEOs don't know how to run a company like you need to run a company, to like make sure you sell the product to make the money. Like Filosa, the one thing I will say, he's kept Chrissy Fuel on as Chrysler's head. There's no reason for her to be the president of Chrysler. I mean, unless you really just want to have a minivan mom as the head of Chrysler, I don't understand her purpose. And Chrysler is a dead brand. Dodge is pretty close to a dead brand. And Fluno, I saw a thing that they wanted the Dodge dealers, or I'm sorry, the Stellantis dealers, to sell 25% more product this year.
I'd like to make 25% more money this year, and I'm just going to throw it out there. Maybe the gods of my company will just hear me talk about it like that. I mean, amazing. You can't really sell product without product. That's like 50% of nothing is nothing.
That is absolutely true. And the thing is, you look at this, and you look, they have the same lineup they had last year that didn't do that great, except they added a moronic Jeep electric appliance at a time when this is not the time to be doing this. I don't know how do you go, because you sold cars, I sold cars for a while. How do you look at on that lot and go, yeah, man, I'm going to move 25% more tin? It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, it's bad enough when you're looking for an up and it's kind of slow, or the Great Recession, but at least you have, this is obviously a long time ago, not, you have Mustangs, the Edge had just come out, you had the Explorer, which was already F-150. You got something for everyone, a seat for every ass, right? Okay.
Right.
I literally was just thinking, like, there is nothing on that lot. Now, don't get me wrong, and just hear me out on this.
Okay.
I'm not going to say like the Grand Wagoneer isn't a sharp vehicle.
Yes.
But with that asterisk of $118,000, there it goes. what on there wants someone who's going to drive in that lot and go, man, I can't wait to drive away today with a good, 3.99, 72, I'm sorry, 84-month loan. It's sad
You
because there's
realize
nothing that excites people.
even when an 84-month loan, that vehicle is still $1,500 to $1,600 a month.
And they
A
actually
month.
put it, and they put like on Wranglers and stuff, like in big sunbursts, where sunbursts used to be like was $5,000, now 1,000 or whatever. Big sunburst, like 84 months with this much down, whatever, like 1,250 a month. Like that doesn't entice. How does anyone look at that and go, man, I can't wait to go beat this up on the roads?
And this is why I'm looking at Nissan with their Sentra being 21 grand to start.
Yeah.
I mean, they honestly, I keep on thinking to myself, if they don't screw this car up, if this car actually has anything resembling build quality, this is going to be like the Dodge Dart. I mean, or the Plymouth Scamp, or the Plymouth Valiant. I mean, literally, it's going to be that type of car where they're going to be everywhere because you just can't pass up buying something that cheap. It's not that it's a great car. It's not you're going to win drag races with it. It's not you're going to, impress anybody. But for buy transportation for half the price of other cars, that is genius. And none of the companies here are going this way with it. Nobody has a car. Well, first of all, no one has a car.
No.
Second thing, most of their things start at 30. I mean, honestly, I can't think of anything that starts below 30. So we're kind of at that point now where it's really a messed up market. If you look at 1970, and I've done this before, you look at 1970, the majority of the market was Chevrolet, the cheap cars, because General Motors, that was their cheap car. You had your Plymouths. Plymouth was a large seller for Chrysler, even more than Dodge and Chrysler combined. And then Ford was the everyman car. I mean, it was they were. I mean, they had nicer lines, but they literally made cars that were, kind of normal family cars. Even their coupes, as you say, were still kind of just regular cars, and they had. Unfortunately, they didn't really have a small car to compete against the Dart and the Valiant. That was Iacocca's idea. But they, they came out with the Maverick, which actually ended up doing quite well. The Pinto did quite well at first until they found they could catch fire. But it's really weird today. The market, they're not selling to the market, so that's why they're having problems. And it's very interesting to see that.
Well, don't forget, going back to McNamara, in fact, he almost wanted to get rid of Lincoln because he was such a bean counting guy. He introduced the Falcon, and the Falcon was, and the thing about Ford versus obviously Plymouth, Dodge, etc., is that Ford, had the big fan. You had, let's say, the Falcon, and then you moved up to this, and then you had, let's say, the Fairlane, but then you had the Galaxy 500, and then it kept. So Ford has a big span where Chevy, Pontiac, all these little, all the divisions. Ford just spread it out. Then you went to Mercury and Lincoln. But the Falcon was their first true modern, quote, economy car that you could actually load up a little bit. Not with power windows and leather, but you could make it a nicer small car because the market was starting to, hence like the Corvair and the Beetle had done a lot of damage to that. Those sales numbers. And
the Beetle actually was the thing that scared the hell out of them because they sold a lot of Beetles.
Absolutely.
It's amazing how many they sold. And I forgot about this car. I forgot. Anthony did remind 26,000 for the base 2026 Maverick. But I mean, it's kind of hard to find those. But I know they do start there. And actually it's not a piece of garbage. It's actually a pretty decent vehicle, but still, it's still $5,000 more than the Sentra.
Right.
So,
and let's see what mid-level Sentra, 25 grand. And look, you're not getting obviously leather wrapped. This actually the SL does supposedly have like leather wrapped back seats and equipment, so you can obviously like the way it used to be. You start here and you load up if you want to.
Right. Yeah, because Stellantis' idea of SRTing everything is not a good idea. That's a sheer recipe to actually have failure. Dodge is in such trouble right now. I've never felt more convinced that Dodge is in serious trouble right now. I mean, I know
Yeah.
Chrysler is dead. Chrysler is dead unless there's a car
So,
announced this summer. If they announce a car at Carlisle, maybe they can actually do something. But if they don't, Chrysler's gone. And Dodge, honestly, the Durango, you could just make a Ram in a heartbeat. Unless they
yeah.
combine Ram and Dodge together, there's no reason for Dodge to exist anymore because the Charger, whatever it is going to be a failure. I don't care what engine they put in it. It's too much money. It's too much horsepower. 500 horsepower is too much for the average person. I don't care what platform it's on. It's too much horsepower. That's
And most
scary.
people, a lot of people don't even care about that.
Correct. They want the look. That was the thing
Yes.
back in the day. The Charger.
Right.
Most Chargers were 318s or 383 two barrels.
Yeah.
And the reason was you got the look. Like a
Like a
68
Mustang.
Charger, you got the look. Like, I've
Right.
got a good car. Most people didn't buy a GTO. They bought a Le Mans.
Yeah.
You
My
got the
first
look.
Mustang was the Cologne 6-cylinder, black with red interior, loaded as far as I could do it with the little spinners and rims and all that good stuff. Out the door was like 23 grand. It was a great look. Black and red
Exactly.
Mustang with the cool striping, just like in the 60s. It started out as, and I'm not being disrespectful, the secretary's car. And if you wanted to move her up, you could load it up with, and hence the pony car starts and all that good stuff. But it was the look and the hip factor for a
Yeah.
value, and you could load it up.
So that's what's missing, I think, right now, very much right now in the American market, is you just don't have them. And we're going to do a couple stories because Ford has really some stupid ideas. And this is why I talk about Farley. This is the opportunity to leverage your economies of scale because you still have the Mustang. You still have a chassis you could do anything with because it's a unit body. You could do anything with that chassis, and you're not. And you have a great V6. You have a great 4. I mean, you have these great base engines that you can just go, and you're not leveraging that, and it's actually kind of sad because you could make a 4-door on that Mustang chassis easily. You can do that. It's been done before.
Well,
And I just don't get it because I mean the original LTD, the small LTD, and the little marquee, they were Fox bodies. They literally were. They were Mustang Fox bodies. They were Fox bodies, and they had a V6 in them, and they sold a lot of those cars. I mean, they weren't like the World on Fire things, but now we're at the point where I just don't see this type of stuff. So let's start with the big one. We're gonna get this because this is, dear God, this is mind numbing. Major automakers have written off $55 billion after overestimating EV demand. Stellantis has the lion's share of write-downs with over $26 billion. Oopsie. Hey, look, they have pictures of Charger appliances. That's like that's the poster child of failure right there. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So let's see. Key points. Automakers face $55 billion in losses from reduced, delayed, or canceled EV projects. Stellantis leads with $26.2 billion write-down. Ford and GM follow with major losses. Market shifts, blah, blah, blah. Scaling back electric vehicle investments amid the EV sales slump does not come cheap for automakers. They actually putting it mildly, as companies, in fact, taking massive financial burden, having been forced to reduce, delay, or cancel many EV projects. As the auto industry pivots from earlier EV growth, there was no growth. It was all artificially done. I mean, you talk about a smoke and mirrors kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is smoke and mirrors at its best. Plan to slow demand in key markets and unfavorable political climate. Global automakers have recorded billions of dollars in losses, or total around $55 billion. So Stellantis leads the pack. Stellantis, and here's the failed Ram Charger, which I couldn't figure. I just, for the life of me, could not figure out how they were going to sell this thing. For the life of me, could not. you're going to put a Pentastar V6 in there as a generator, one of the most unreliable engines you could ever have, and throw it in there, and it's a generator. And I don't know how much it's going to be. It's probably going to be $100,000. So Stellantis, the latest automaker to announce how much it overestimated the pace of energy transition has cost it, disclosing a $26.2 billion write-down during the second half of 2025. The announcement vaporizes more than 20% of the value of Stellantis shares, with the stock reaching the lowest level in 6 years. And it's only been in existence for 6 years.
No.
Stellantis CEO Antonio Filosa blaming shifting consumer demand, evolving emissions rules in the U.S., and a need to reorganize the company's portfolio as key factors behind the massive write-down. The automaker is significantly pulling back on its electrification strategy in North America, canceling the Ram 1500 Rev, the entry-level Dodge Charger Daytona RT EV, basically shelving the Banshee, dropping the plug-in hybrid in Jeep and the Chrysler models for 2026. The plug-in Jeep they had to kill because it was on its 4th recall and they couldn't fix it. I mean, honestly, when you're on your 4th recall, it's time to basically call it quits because you don't know what you're doing. Now Ford, I think they're honest too. They pissed away $19.5 billion. The Franco-Italian car maker, let's not forget that, no one makes such an announcement. Ford said in December it would take a $19.5 billion write-down. The cancellation of several electric models, especially the F-150 Lightning, fresh investments in gas and hybrid. In January, now this is the one where there's 2 truths and a lie. I don't believe this. January, a similar announcement came from GM, which revealed a $6 billion charge. The automaker said it included $4.2 billion in cash costs stemming from contract cancellations and settlements with suppliers. The General had already taken a 1.6 EV write-down in the third quarter. And then, of course, Volkswagen took a $6 billion hit because, well, they went full tard on Porsche, and that was not smart. They couldn't sell those EV Porsches. So good going.
Or the bus.
Or the bus, which failed miserably. So, before you go on, though, I think GM's lying. Honest to God, how can GM have a smaller write-down than Ford?
All right.
Seriously, how can GM went full on this? I mean, they were just, they were just absolutely full on, had built plants, had made arrangements, had made partnerships, but you only taking a $6 billion while everybody else is taking almost 20.
And they still keep talking about it.
Oh, yeah, Barra is all in on this, so they haven't written everything down yet. I bet they have and the reason they probably didn't is probably they have another 20 billion that they need to write down, and they can't. To Diesel Larry, they wasted money on crap EVs. Now the price goes up on everything else. Now new work trucks be $100,000. Yes, he gets it. To Diesel Larry gets it. It isn't that this company lost that money. You and I, as consumers, lost this money because that's why your car is $50,000. That's why every Stellantis pickup truck is over $60,000. You have to pay. They have to make the money back somewhere. They can't sell the product. That's why a Mustang is $60,000 to support the Mustang Mach-E. The Mach-E loses $60,000 a vehicle, $60,000. I don't know. I mean, I know loss leaders, but Jesus, that's not good.
These rules of business don't apply, I guess, obviously, to
no. And that's why I said we have bad CEOs. Because this should never come to this. A real CEO will go, you know what? This is probably a dumb idea. Let's not do this. Let's do this on a small scale and see if it actually works. Like Ford should have quit. After the Mach-E was an absolute failure, it's like, this ain't going to work. So, and I'm very befuddled. And that's why I don't have a high regard for Farley, because it's like, dude, it wasn't working. And then you made an EV truck that no one wanted, that no one absolutely wanted. So they just go on and on and on about blah, blah, blah. But yeah,
what I joke with you is somehow in Ocala, I saw on Sunday, 4 F-150 appliances, like
Mhm.
loads around. I'm like, I've seen more F-150 appliances than I have Hornets though in Ocala, and in Tampa, and in whatever. But I just couldn't
Wherever.
believe I saw that many. I just couldn't believe I saw more of that truck here, and I'm like, that's just ridiculous.
Ford was basically just dumping them, and that's literally what they were doing. They were dumping them. It was just to get them off the lot because you can't let the lot rot
No,
because they're
no,
batteries in them.
right?
You can't let them sit.
No.
You can't do like you did the last call, Chargers and Challengers. You can
Ooh.
let those get lot rot because they're gas cars. It's fine. You go start them every once in a while, and it's great.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, here we go. I love this stuff. Horatius 763. I knew a car dealership owner who a few years ago was telling me by 2030 most cars sales would be EVs and they are the future. I told him never happened, and I thought I was ignorant. Look forward to talking to him about this when I see him soon.
Yeah.
If he was a
Yeah.
Stellantis dealer, he's going to be feeling tremendous pain from
Yeah.
this. I mean,
A
they
chapter 11.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I have the dealers I have near me. I have Furman.
Yeah.
I have a Furman dealer near me, and that's a
Yeah.
big. And the thing is, the stuff doesn't move.
Mm-mm.
And I mean, Furman's a big dealer,
Yes,
and
it's
they
1898. Yeah.
they don't move. They're not moving dick on their lot, and it's like,
No.
those guys have got to be suffering. I mean, seriously. I mean, I just don't get it, and it's a trickle down because, the dealerships are independently owned. I mean,
Yeah.
for the most part. I mean, a lot of them are corporate now, but they're still independently owned
Mm.
businesses, and it's just like a movie theater. If the movie companies put out garbage, you don't make any money. If the car manufacturer doesn't put good stuff out, you don't make any money.
Yeah. Fords are, for the most part, still, whether it be Walker Ford, Brandon Ford, not Ernie, one I can't remember, the new name, the Elder
Elder.
family. Okay. Most Ford dealerships are actually still independently styled, like the family long term
Mhm.
since 1955, whatever. The Furmans, etc., like Courtesies, that's like your more modern style, like Courtesy, like Jenkins, here in Ocala, you
Yeah.
have Jenkins, Hyundai, blah, Acura, whatever. It's still a family. So I guess, but it's a little bit more of that umbrella style. But Fords, they're the ones who might suffer really hardcore because they are independent
Yeah,
from
yeah. If Ford doesn't release good product, yeah, they'll
correct.
die.
Right.
Here we go. Horatius, it was 763, a Hyundai dealership. Actually, if he's at a Hyundai dealership, he's doing good because Hyundai
Yeah.
didn't really go full on. They didn't go full tard on this. They actually
No.
kept they kept a lot
Like
of gas
Toyota.
cars. They
Yeah,
kept a lot of
sure.
gas cars. And then they also are still selling Genesises, which is now going to become its own company.
Oh, it
They're going to
is.
spin it up.
Yes.
They're going to spin it out. They're actually going to make a supercar. I saw with that V8 that I had talked about a while ago. They're actually going to make a supercar. Interesting, isn't it? Got very interesting days coming up.
So wait a minute. Genesis is actually going to be spun off from Hyundai as their luxury brand. It's going to be
It's going to be like
separate.
Lincoln. It's going to literally be like Lincoln.
Okay, yeah. So
yeah, but
so
it's not going to be the same. It's going to have its own dealerships and everything. It's going to be.
We have one here already. I've got a Genesis
Ooh.
dealership already here.
Yeah, they've been starting to kind of push it away. They're going to do the marketing. Everything's going to get separated.
Yeah. Good for them.
And it's a smart move. It's just like what Toyota did with Lexus. It's
Exactly.
a smart move. It's a smart move because now and that's why the Stellantis dealerships don't work. And here's the thing with dealerships, because this is going back to the old, not even that old of a day, the 90s. When you went on a certain lot, you expected a certain type of car or price point or something. Like,
right.
If you went on a Lincoln lot, you were expecting this, Lincolns and Mercuries. So you're not buying a bargain basement, right? You're spending money. But you walk on a Stellantis lot, everything's there. And it's like, okay. And then I sold Lincolns and Mercury. So I knew who was coming into my dealership. I mean, I knew who was coming in. they had some cash. You
They're
know,
all
they
dead
had,
now.
yeah, they didn't have a 400 credit score. Yeah, a 500 credit score. These people actually could buy a car.
Right.
But if you walk on a Stellantis dealership, I mean, you have somebody that could be going in there trying to buy, like the base Wrangler, or you have
Yeah.
somebody trying to buy, the Laramie pickup truck for like $95,000. And
Right.
that, I don't know how that works for a dealer, because that really messes you up, because the person coming on that lot may have a certain thing in mind, and you have no idea to understand where to direct them. And that makes it so much harder if you really think about it. It's like, it's like if a BMW dealership also was selling Volkswagens, it doesn't work. It's two different worlds of pricing, two different worlds of expectations.
Right.
So it's kind of weird. Let's see, G Canada, always coming hard. I believe when Genesis started, it was its own brand. Then it collapsed back into Hyundai. Now they're putting it back on. Yeah, they kind of gave it. They kind of gave it. No, well, it was sort of kind of. They had it. They put it on a leash, and then it was okay.
It was the Hyundai Genesis first. It was the Hyundai Genesis, and you had the Equus. You had the different sedans, but they were at the Hyundai dealership. Like the coupe was very popular, trying to make a sports car. And because unfortunately they were making a luxury, and I drive a Hyundai, so I'm not at all knocking the company, but they were, when you bought a Genesis for X amount more with the Hyundai Genesis badge, even though they were nice cars, they figured, hey, let's separate this out. So, and I believe if you looked at the original tournament, like the Equus, so however you pronounce it, was actually like a South Korean. That was like their higher brand of Hyundai in South Korea. And because South Koreans still love hood ornaments too, actually, ironically. They actually will, over there, people will put them on their cars. And that little logo was from South Korea. So, yes, it started as a Hyundai Genesis, but they could not escape. Nothing against Hyundai. It's hard to escape that when it's branded with both names on it. So hence why now they look a lot different. Yes, they are made by Hyundai, but they have done a great job. Like, look, an Acura in the 80s almost looked like an Accord, but they still had their own dealership as an Acura.
Correct.
So they started smart, Lexus, Toyota, Infiniti, etc. Hyundai unfortunately blended to begin with and shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. So Sue M, bless her heart, she asked, what is a supercar? A supercar is basically like a Ferrari, Lamborghini, GT40. It is an Aston Martin. It is a high-end car with a very, very high-end 6-digit price to start with. You're talking 150,000, 200,000 to start with. And that's where they're actually going to have, and they call it a halo car. That's the other thing. It's called a halo car. It's like you're showing off your engineering, because Chrysler did that with the Viper in '93. That was to show off. Hey, look, we bought Lamborghini, and look what we did. So that's what that is. It's just a really expensive car that's fast. It has to be fast, not a Rolls Royce. It has to be fast. So let's see. So this Hyundai guy. Yep, they told him to buy all separate lot and building for Genesis. So that's why he's just doing Hyundais and $3 million, which is actually kind of cheap. He's got Genesis on a lot. Well, what I've been reading is that they really want to bring Genesis up market, and the only way to do that is get it away from Hyundais.
He's correct, because for right now, until our dealership was built, which is right across the street from the Hyundai dealership, yes, you would walk into Jenkins Hyundai, beautiful redone showroom. I love the people there. And yes, sitting next to my Kona could be the GV90 or whatever the nomenclature is now. But as the dealership opened, they shooed them out, and now it's strictly back to Hyundai in the lot versus across the street where you have your Genesis. But yes, that is correct, that they were, even after they separated the names or kind of pretended that's its own brand over here, they still shared the same Hyundai dealership.
Yes. Yeah, and it's going to be hard to sell really expensive cars next to that. That's why they're
Yeah.
really thinking about moving it up market, because there is growth in that in that market, because it isn't really as crowded as it used to be. I mean, if you think
No.
about it, BMW doesn't have anything in that market. BMW has
Hmm.
nothing in that market. They own Rolls Royce, but that's not a sports car. That's just an expensive car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Mercedes, they they brought back the Maybach name, but they really don't have the I guess was the GT. They have that. I mean, so they do, but it really, I don't know. It's a very interesting market to look at, and I think that Hyundai wants to exploit it.
Sure.
So there's that. So let's get to your fun little story, because Jesus, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
Um, Ford drops the Escape SUV, but aims to hold on to customers. This is why Farley is absolutely so clueless that I don't understand what he's doing. I don't understand why he's what they're trying to prove here. But the Escape, whether you like it or not, it fills a void. I mean, that's a very popular sized vehicle at this point, because the RAV4 is
Absolutely.
the RAV4 is the most sold vehicle in the United States. They sell 400,000 of them every year. That's the same class as this thing. This is not smart. So, what are they going to do? So, Ford has ended production of its popular Escape and its Lincoln Corsair. Oops. Analysts are concerned Ford would lose customers to competitors without a direct replacement for the Escape. Ford plans to retain the Escape customers by offering incentives and other models like the Bronco Sport. That ain't not going to work, man. That is the Bronco Sport is an embarrassment. We had one as a loaner. Absolutely should not be called a Bronco anything. It really is. It's really, and the base model has a 3-cylinder in it.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's the wet belt one, which basically is a 50,000
like that Eco Sport they had from built in India. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's just not the grass. So in mid-December, the last Ford Escape compact SUV signed by many of the UAW workers who built it rolled off the assembly line at Ford in Louisville. It was understated and to one of the automobile's best-selling and most affordable SUVs in the United States. Wow. The decision to halt production of the Escape and its luxury cousin, the Lincoln Corsair, also built in Louisville, was so that Ford could spend $2 billion to retool the plant to build the future lineup of affordable electric vehicles.
Appliances.
Wait, let me go back to this. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. You just wrote down $19 billion. 19, almost 20, because you built these appliances. Do you not learn? I mean, this is basic business. I mean, this is almost like lemonade stand business kind of level. If you have 2 lemonades and one's pink and one is regular, and the pink outsells and you can't sell the regular, you get rid of the regular and all you sell is pink. There's no reason at all to go back to this. You already took an ass kicking. And that's 19 billion is an ass kicking. That could have developed 5 cars. Easily could have developed 5 real cars, and that you could have sold for 20 years. And this is absolutely terrible. So let's continue with this incredibly dumb decision from one of the worst CEOs Ford has ever had, outside of Jack Nasser. Literally, he is getting closer to Jack Nasser territory. Jack Nasser was probably the worst CEO I've ever seen, but outside of Tavares. But this guy is really coming close. Jack Nasser is the one that brought us the Jaguar stuff to Lincoln, and put that weird engine in the new Bird, in the retro Bird,
the 4-liter V8.
Yeah,
The
one of the
3-liter
worst.
V8, pardon me, or
Yeah,
whatever.
one of the worst V8s they ever built. So, a mid-size pickup to launch next year that no one's going to buy. Yeah, I mean, no one's going. No, you have a Maverick. Why would I want to buy an appliance when I can go get a Maverick for 25 grand? I mean, seriously, why would I want a Maverick? Why would I want this? By killing the compact SUV, especially the Escape, he has left some industry analysts and car dealers nonplussed because the Escape has long been a top seller. There is no other vehicle in the Ford lineup to exactly replace it for customers in the Ford family. It's a big topic for us, a huge topic. We have 450 Edge and Escape customers coming back off lease this year. See, there's the time bomb.
Yeah.
Leases are the time bomb of the automobile world. They really are, and it's really disturbing what happens when they get caught out when you do something like this. So this one dealership, Village Ford in Dearborn, said Ford ended production of the Edge in 2024. Explorer is only 12 inches bigger than the Edge, so we're able to move customers to an Explorer with a good payment. 12 inches a foot is a lot. Chevette plans to steer Escape owners to Bronco Sports. None of those vehicles are close in size and price as Escape. Actually, the Bronco Sport is just an Escape with a 4-wheel drive package.
Correct.
And honestly, I don't even understand this. Rob Kahl, Ford's executive director of U.S. sales, isn't sweating it. He said,
Ford he's got a golden parachute.
Yeah, exactly. He has enough time in stock to be able to leave without actually going bankrupt. Ford has plan to roll out the dealers on how to retain Escape customers and even grow Ford sales instead of losing out to competition. Kaufel said in some of his plan with the Detroit Free Press. I always love when corporate rolled out stuff that you knew just wouldn't work, and this is one of those things. Because literally, you remember when they come and they have the binders, and this is the sales plan because we stopped making something people like, and
right, you have to flip. You got to flip.
Yeah, we got and it's just not gonna. It's just as stupid.
Right.
I mean, people that drove the Escape are not gonna like the Bronco Sport. They're not gonna like what's gonna happen to the Bronco Sport at all, and the Corsair, it was a tiny Lincoln. I mean, you have nothing to replace that with. What are you going to put them in?
I'm going to add a caveat here. So I want to interject and give props to All Cars with John. I really enjoy his channel, and All Cars React with John. So here's what's amazing. Now, and this is some levity here. My friends and I were talking about the SNL skit with Bernie Sanders, and he's like, I'm a middle seat kind of guy, right? Okay. And I'm a Ford guy. I really am. I've always been. I like Fords. My dad was more General Motors, and I kind of got him into Ford. But I sold Fords. They're by far, I still believe the best American-ish made brand. That aside, so I'm prejudiced a little bit. But here's what I find interesting. So yes, the Corsair is a luxury Escape. Okay. However, very, very, very well done. And here's what's even more interesting. Third place in that segment of luxury SUVs, right under the Lexus NX and the Volvo, I believe, CX-70. I mean, those are pretty high-end contenders, right? So Lincoln Corsair is getting its name back. And again, I'm a Lincoln guy, obviously, as well, with my history in that. And I know it's an Escape. I get it. But really a well-done small luxury SUV at not a ridiculous price. Okay, so they just kill off a contender. It shows, with third place of two other very, especially Lexus, well-made vehicle, along with Volvo, a unique car. So they're like, oh no, what are we going to do? Well, because Corsairs are so popular, it was such a great seller, here's a brilliant idea. Guess where the Corsair is still made? And they're going to probably import it back to America and sell it as the new Corsair. China. So China makes the Corsair. So it's a different name over there. But it literally is Ford, right? But it's already actually been even restyled, so now it has more 21st century look, all that jazz. Fine, the Buck Rogers thing, but you literally kill off this line, and now you're going to take something and bring it back to America from China because it doesn't make sense. I'm just
I
going to
don't
sound
think
like a
that's gonna.
broken
I don't
record.
think that's gonna happen. I honestly, no matter what, I don't care what's going on, but Chinese vehicles are not a. They're not a.
I know it
They're
might
not
not
something that
happen, but
people
that's
actually looking for. Um,
true.
and then
But
you
look
have
at
to.
that mentality.
I
That makes
understand.
even if it doesn't come back, the fact that they actually said, "Well, no big deal. We'll just bring it back over here," instead of letting this affordable. And let me tell you, the Escape, which is leaps and bounds better looking, etc., over when I sold them and whatever they were, they've been around for 25, a quarter of a century. They've been
Yeah.
making these, and people
Yes.
like them.
Yes, they do.
And you kill it. Why? And talk about flipping. We were just talking is, someone might have had a younger in life, like say a Focus, right?
Right.
And
Right.
then they get a Fusion. And then they go, you know what? I kind of want the sport you thing going on here. Oh, this Escape is nice. And then we keep moving up. And that's the whole process of car buying in many ways. It used to be where you move up the ladder, you bump your car up the ladder, and there's always something for everyone. You now have nothing to replace these, and as you call them appliances, I call leases rentals because that's all they are. When your rental comes due,
Right.
with that price point, where is someone going to go? There's nowhere to. I mean, yes, you're going to bump them up. So I just wanted to throw that caveat in there. They destroyed a luxury mini SUV that was competing with top dogs.
Yes. Yes.
Makes no sense for
And
electric retooling.
yeah, which is and if anything, if you live in Florida or you lived anywhere on the East Coast, you realized how absolutely sensitive and how weak our grid is when they were telling you not to use your power during peak times because it was going to go bye-bye. Now try to charge an electric appliance during that time. Oh wait, you can't. And then you're not going to go to work or you're not going to go to school. And this is the stupidity of this product. It is literally limiting your ability to move. And that's really why I hate them. I mean, I despise them because they are away. That's why China sells. Remember, China is a place where people ride bicycles. Another communist thing they're trying to bring to the United States. It's a communist country. People don't have things. But suddenly when they made electric cars, those people are allowed to get them. You know why? Because you can turn an electric car off from anywhere. All it needs is internet connection, and you can turn it off. It doesn't go anywhere. You can just turn it off. Tesla can turn a car off anywhere. Tesla
Wow.
They absolutely can. They have full telemetry on the car. They know if you're speeding. They know if you actually screwed with the software without bringing it in. They know these things. And that's why I don't trust electric cars. I don't want an electric car. I don't think there's any reason to keep on researching this garbage. We actually, in 1995, made cars that were so good they lasted 30 years because there are a lot of mid-90s cars still on the road. And literally you made a great vehicle at that time that got good fuel economy, was relatively safe because never be perfectly safe, and honestly could keep going with minimal maintenance. And this by Ford is only it's retarded. I mean, there's no other word. It's so stupid. It literally is sub 60 IQ because you're taking away to something that sold hundreds of thousands to replace by something that's going to sell the thousands. Two Diesel Larry, I've never seen an EV with a plow on it. Nope. Nope. They need your big diesel to come by and clean them out.
And just to point out, Dennis, you and I drove our 30-year-old cars today, actually.
Yes. I got driven around in a 30-year-old car today.
Yeah.
Yep. And we just went back and forth, and we had gasoline in it. And we put gasoline in it a while ago. It sits outside. It got cold. Start it up, drive it around, park it in the driveway. Just let it sit there. Don't do anything. Tomorrow, go start it up, drive off. Don't do anything. It's not like Christmas lights. I'm not having to run in a wire to it.
And what's
I
funny too is that even I almost shared this picture with you, and our mayor here in his little, cold weather warning, second line down, limit EV charging. I'm like, oh, Dennis was 100% right. They're actually saying that. And second line in Ocala, telling people, and we're not like some massive, that's the problem. We're not some like massive grid system. And you have to throw in there, don't charge your EV after you're being told that you need to buy one of these.
Exactly. Here we go. Horatius 763. He's bringing it tonight, man. He's bringing it hard. A lot of videos on YouTube of people complaining about how much mileage the EVs lose during the cold winter. About half the mileage per charge. Yeah. Because here's a basic thing on batteries. No matter what type of battery it is, I don't care what type of battery, it's a chemical reaction.
Right.
And in high school, you learned that chemical reactions are heat dependent because they are. I mean, there may be some outliers, but for the most part, especially batteries, that's very heat dependent. And the hotter it is, the faster the battery excites and does its thing. When it's cold, it slows down a lot. That's why when you buy batteries, I learned this from the wife. She actually throws them in the refrigerator because they end up lasting years because they're not doing anything. They just lay there. It's actually a good way to get some life out of batteries. And but then, but you see this with your car. In your car, there's 2 times in a year your car battery is going to die. There's 2 times. After a big cold snap because of it slowed down and it was just weak enough that it couldn't get back. Or in the summertime because it's super excited and it just used up all its juice and now it's dead. So and then they literally, but the same thing now is you're relying on that battery to make you go places. And remember, all EVs have cooling systems. And if the cooling system fails, you're in a lot of trouble because batteries make heat when they're used. And that's another factor of it. They make heat. Every chemical reaction makes heat. That's why if you hold your phone and you're making a long call, it gets pretty freaking hot. That's the battery. That's not the actual phone. That's the battery getting hot. So, yeah.
I have a question for our northern friends, and forgive my ignorance on this, but I could have sworn, because my family's from Illinois, I could have sworn they used to talk about having battery heaters on their cars in the cold. Now, maybe I'm just pulling this out of thin air somewhere, but is that a real piece of equipment to keep your battery or warm your battery up in the extreme cold weather?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up there, and yeah, they actually, I've seen that where they have a thing where they're keeping them from getting. I mean, especially it's 5 degrees below zero. Yeah. I don't know if I mean, you got to keep the stuff warm,
right?
It's got to stay warm,
and you're losing all right. So now you're adding now you're adding a completely different type of electrical system, not just to your 12 volt, and you're losing half the mileage. Well, that's worthless.
Yes, vintage 76 Viper Green Beetle. Batteries in the fridge. It actually makes them last longer. Because it's if it's 35 degrees in there, they're not doing their exothermic reaction. Thanks to Diesel Larry, the big word. I like the big words. We get at big words. We have really smart chat. But yeah, so all right. So where were we with this? So yeah, all right. And the Maverick does start at 28,000, so it's below 30. The Escape was 30,000. The Sport is 31, almost 32. So we go down here. We're going to go to the guy where I'm skipping down to the Ford dealer because the Ford dealer is the guy that knows.
Yeah.
There will be 250,000 intenders coming back to our dealerships to trade in an Escape or coming off Escape lease this year. That's a huge number. We're trying to get our dealers behind it. Oh, this is Caffel from Ford. Because we're setting up huge incentives to get those customers in other Ford products. Incentives 1,000 to 4,000. So you're basically putting money on the hood and losing that money, which is insane. That is insane. So you have all these people coming back and they have nothing to buy. It's important to note that the deep doubts analysts have that Ford can keep Escape fans in the house. The compact SUV segment, be it a mainstream or luxury, is the most competitive and biggest segment in the auto industry. In fact, 1 out of every 5 vehicles sold in the U.S. is a compact SUV. Think about that for a second. They sell 7 million, 8 million cars. No, more than that. 10 million cars in the United States. So 20%. So say it's 10 million. That means 2 million of these are these style cars. That's psychotic. I mean, that's too big a market to go, yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
Right.
No, I don't want to sell to those guys. No, it's okay. I don't want to sell to those guys. That's fine.
And here's what's going to happen now. When those leases come in, okay, and they get turned back to Ford, and then the dealership goes to auction to buy them, because that's how that works. Yes. They go to buy them. Now they're going to have, let's hypothetically say, quality, not bagged out, pre-owned leases, let's say 3-year, 36,000 miles are on it, whatever. They can put those on their pre-owned lot. And I'll tell you right now, I'd love to be that pre-owned salesman, because they were going to be able to give a good front, make the customer happy, but the salesmen are going to want to focus on those pre-owned Escapes based on what you just said about this market. And not only that, the customer who turned it in might not want the Explorer. They're going to go down to Hyundai or Kia or even Volkswagen and look at and I don't know all their names, whatever, but that size in that price point, they are losing customers.
Or Toyota, because they have the RAV4.
That's the best example. That's the best example.
The RAV4 they already sell a ton of them. I mean, so Toyota's going to go. Hell, they could probably throw $1,000 on the hood and go, come on, we got one right here.
Absolutely.
And yeah. So this is the numbers. Ford sold 178,000 of them in 2020. Last year they sold 140,000, and there's a lot of competition. They still sold 140,000 of them. Right. They sold 134,000 Bronco Sports last year, and there's the Bronco Sport. It's such an underwhelming vehicle. It really is. Ford likely sees Bronco Sport continuing to grow even without canceling the Escape, and the Bronco Sport will grow that much faster with the Escape gone. There's also the tooling cost saved by going to a single model from the platform. Still, Brower is baffled by Ford's decision to remove the Escape from the lineup without a replacement, given it was the company's 6th best-selling vehicle last year. Think about that for a second. I mean, think about all the trucks they sell. Yeah. I mean, seriously, think about all the trucks they sell. And this was the sixth most popular vehicle at Ford. That's saying light years. It was ahead of the Bronco Sport, Expedition, Ranger, Mustang Mach-E, and Mustang. It seems like overall brand sales will fall without Escape in the lineup. Given how popular the compact SUV category is, I think Ford would be better off with 2 models in that space, especially without a subcompact. Yes, because I got rid of that. He noted that Jeep has 2 subcompact SUVs, the Wrangler, which I really wouldn't say so, because that's in Bronco territory. That is
that's not an Escape territory. No.
The Compass, yes, and that's an absolute piece of trash. The Nissan has a new Rogue and the Kicks, which the Kicks is weird looking, and the Aria EV. What?
Both the Rogue and the Kicks are actually very, if nothing else, little polarizing, but trying to do something a little bit different out there.
Right. The Kicks is just weird looking. And then weird. Chevy has their Equinox and the Equinox EV, which we won't talk about because nobody buys it. Ford thinks the Mustang Mach-E, which still doesn't sell, Maverick, Bronco, or Bronco Sport, will give enough midsize to small utilities in a lineup. The friggin' Bronco starts at $40,000, and the Bronco is a big ass vehicle. I have one. That is going from an Escape to a Bronco is mind boggling, because it is a big 5,000 pound vehicle. It's 5,000 pounds. No, it's not even the same sport, man. It really isn't. It isn't close. They talk about the pricing. The pricing is about there. So the analyst once again saying to lose customers. The Toyota RAV4 is the single best-selling nameplate ahead of the F-150. The Honda CRV isn't far behind. No, it isn't. Vice President of Marketing, Research and Telemetry told the Detroit Free Press, instead of making a better, more competitive product for the segment, Ford walked away, and the
Yep.
Bronco Sport is for a different customer. Not only is the Bronco Sport oriented for off-roading, which I'll fight you on, it is made in Mexico and has a 25% import tariff.
Mm-hmm.
Oopsie. I can't even say his name. Questioned whether Ford's plant in Jalisco, Mexico, has the capacity to build enough Bronco Sports to absorb all the Escape customers, because Ford also produces the Maverick there. Oh, Jesus. Wow, they 250,000 Escape people. That's just not gonna. It's just no. That's no. Oh wow. Yeah, the line starts here for mediocrity. Yeah, no kidding.
The only thing they could possibly do as well with those rental turn-ins is convince the customer to have them purchase out of their lease,
yes,
and give them an incredible
deal
on keeping it in the family. Like
yeah,
that.
because they can play with the turn-in value. I mean,
Sure,
they could just artificially just jack that up and go, look, hey, you'll have your payment will only get like $20 a month, and you'll
Correct.
own it.
Yeah,
because I can see that coming. Oh yeah, you can see that coming from a mile away, because they have to. They have to try to keep that, because you still get a spiff if you convert a lease to a sale. You still get a spiff because there's still money on the table. But
right,
Jesus.
and the dealership doesn't keep the car. See, that's the thing too, is that if you turn it in, it doesn't get to stay with Brandon Ford. It goes back to Ford, it's this thing, FMCC, then it gets sent to the auction because it's owned by Ford, not the dealership that you bought it from. So if you're at the lot and you are there doing the lease turn in, you can actually do the whole deal and keep it without ever having to leave where you're at, whatever dealership you're at, turning your vehicle in.
Yeah, and it is basically beating this horse to death. And so, I mean, honestly, what this really comes down to at this point is, Ford has really. I mean, this is catastrophically stupid, and you just almost as, and it's as stupid as getting rid of the small cars they had, because the what the hell was the name of the Fusion? Fusion was a good car. There was nothing wrong with a Ford Fusion.
No,
and basically to throw it in a towel and give away market is stupid. And I don't even understand this at this point. So I mean, I'm befuddled, and I'm glad you brought this article to my attention, because this is insanity. Literally, this is insanity. You just basically cut off your nose to spite your face. You literally got rid of the sixth best-selling vehicle in your lineup, and you have nothing. You really don't have a plan. You're going to bring an electric appliance, which we have now seen that mainstream companies trying to sell appliances sell thousands of them, not tens. They sell thousands, because that's just the way it is. Nobody can touch Tesla on their PR. Tesla has the best PR in the world.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. You know, they can sell a car for a certain price because they use carbon credits against the other manufacturers. They still do that. That has not been repealed. I've never seen the thing repealed at the EPA for it. They still are basically stealing from the other car companies to keep themselves in business.
Yep.
And but Ford showed that you lose $60,000 when you build something decent, because a Mach-E for our appliance is perfectly made. I mean, honestly, it is a well-made appliance. But who cares?
I was going to bring that up, that I give them credit for thinking at least, hey, we'll combine. Like, it didn't bother me to use the Mustang name. It's a well-known name. Let's
why
try to.
I'll stop. Wait, you know why they used it? Because nothing can be faster than a Mustang at Ford.
Really?
Correct.
Interesting.
Continue
so
on.
Well, that's trivia. I did not know that. It's kind of like, though, like in the 60s they brought the four-door Thunderbird, which I actually don't dislike, but it only lasted 4 years. It wasn't a brilliant idea. Okay, they tried something, but at least with the Mach E, they tried to make an appliance with some pizzazz and some history with the tail lamps, and they gave it a college try. And I see what they were doing, but you can't build a product and lose 60,000 a piece
No,
and make it work. That makes no
no,
sense.
no. It doesn't make any sense. It literally is not good. So yeah. Oh, okay. So I love this. This has been, God. This story floats around. It's every couple months or so. This floats around the same story. Horatius 763. Supposedly, the Chinese have invented a battery that charges faster and has longer range, but requires a lot of silver. That is allegedly one reason why silver has gone way up. Probably because solid state batteries, because it's probably solid state. That has been basically the holy grail. It's like nuclear fission, um, fusion. It literally is that holy grail. It's on a scale, it doesn't work. So, and I would see that, but the thing is, silver is not in great supply, and that's why it's $100 an ounce or so. It's hanging around there. Um, Precious metals are pretty expensive, and yeah, so those batteries would be, the thing is, the cost would be destroyed because silver is so expensive. I mean, that's why a lot of like wiring, they actually use silver electronics, and that's why a lot of electronics is shooting through the roof, not just copper. Okay. Let's see. EV batteries require way too much rare earth minerals, while gas powered just need iron, plastic. Well, plastic's a byproduct of gas and oil. Pretty much not enough cobalt and other rare earth elements in EVs use. Yeah, cobalt is not good. Vintage 76. Good night. He's going to bed. Cool. And remember to like it and hype it tomorrow when you watch it. Actually, watch it twice. I was at the biggest precious metals dealer around the GTA 2 days ago. Definitely not using cash to avoid capital gains. The only silver they had was 100-ounce pieces. Holy crap! Oh my god! Well, literally, the place by me that does sells metals. I've bought metals from there. They don't have any silver. They literally don't have any. Like, honestly, there's no new silver rounds. They have like some 10-ounce bars, and that's it. I mean, literally, they have no rounds, no 1-ounce bars, no 5-ounce bars, 10-ounce. And that's literally that's the minimum. And it's $100 an ounce, thereabouts. It's going back and forth, but it's gonna stay there. There's no reason. This isn't a squeeze. This isn't the Hunt brothers cornering the market. This is reality that the US dollar is not worth anything.
Nope.
And gold is going parabolic, and copper
is
is
like
going
$5,000
parabolic.
an ounce or something now?
Yes, it is. And copper's going parabolic. And these are all things that electric appliances really need, because you need gold. Gold is used a lot in connections. Besides being, jewelry and all the other stuff and a store of wealth, gold is used because it has great connectivity properties. So they use them on connectors to have a better connection. And copper is friggin' psychotic. Go price like just copper wire. Go to like Home Depot and just price like 50 feet of copper wire. It'll make your eyes water. Like, just not even aught, just like 6 gauge. I mean, seriously, 6, which is a very common size. 8, very common size. It will make your eyes water how much it is. It is painful. Oh,
and
wow.
You know what I find interesting about this is that for all the hype of, saving the planet, what we're actually doing is destroying the planet to mine these and use everything up. I mean, it's not going to be keep creating more here. This isn't like, it's not like, krill that, is self-sustaining.
You can't plant them. Yeah.
You can make tons of pills of krill oil, because they're just going to constantly be coming out. Okay. Right. And we're literally digging up the earth, making tons more pollution. All this, it's actually very, very dirty, this work.
Yes.
But that's okay, because and that's what kills me about this, is that as much as I want to believe in alternative fuels, it's such a catch-22,
It's a
and
grift.
no one talks about the destruction of the planet
Mhm.
to mine these and then use them all up. Because when they're gone, they're
Exactly.
gone.
They're disposable, and that's the worst part of all. They are disposable.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So, the funniest thing I saw a meme where it was 10 years ago, you had a plastic straw and a paper cup at McDonald's. Now it's a plastic cup and a paper
Right.
straw.
Yeah.
You saved the earth. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So, all right, here's we have to have our update on First Brands because a week can't go by, and yeah, it's not good. So remember last week or 2 weeks ago, I talked about Ford and GM. They actually use a lot of their crap. Well, GM, I guess, uses a lot more than Ford because GM held urgent supplier meeting over First Brand's bankruptcy exposure. This is bad. I mean, this is literally spreading like wildfire. G Canada bringing facts. Yeah, but that destruction you speak of is happening in China, so no one doesn't matter to far left environmentalists. That is
There
true.
you go. That's true. It's
It
amazing.
happens there. We don't see it. It's okay. So
We're like
first,
the cleanest country. Yeah. They're the ones doing all
they
this.
love their citizens too.
Yeah.
Love them. Oh, absolutely. They treat them with
Going right
utmost
into the
respect.
river.
Okay. A report by Crane's Detroit Business details the meeting was shared by several individuals who participated in the call, although the individual in question remains anonymous, which is scary. While GM routinely meets with a supplier base, sources said that last week's call underscored heightened concern about possible supply chain disruptions. Really? I've been saying this for a while. The meeting was reportedly led by GM Global Chief Procurement and Supply Chain Officer Shalipin Amin. Oh my God. So the head of procurement and supply chain is on this call. That's scary, man. Who urged suppliers to closely review their own supply chains and identify any direct or indirect links to First Brands to proactively address any risks that can impact vehicle production. The call follows an ongoing financial collapse of First Brands, which filed bankruptcy last year after creditors raised concerns related to the company's use of off-balance sheet financing, as well as a series of lawsuits in the Metro Detroit alleging unpaid bills and broken contractual obligations. First Brands owns several prominent automotive brands such as Autolite, Fram, Raybestos, Trico, which supply a wide range of components across the auto industry. Remember, Autolite is spark plugs, Fram's is filters, Raybestos is brakes, Trico is wiper blades. They don't make their own stuff like that. They literally use other people's stuff. So I'm actually kind of this is getting as bad as I thought it'd be. And I mean, I can't underscore that you're going to start seeing in your local place problems with supplies. You will be seeing it. And if you don't plan ahead, you may not be able to get the part you need. And I'm like an oil filter. I'm dead serious. Because I need to do the parking brakes on the what do you call it? Oh, on the E36 because they use a separate parking brake in the back. None of the local car places have it, and this is a thing used by BMW for like 10 years. Not one place can get me those brake shoes. I had to order them from Amazon, of course, because that's where you order everything now. But this is kind of the weirdness of supply where you just can't find things. Like it. Actually, I've had a hard time getting an air filter for an F-150. That should not happen. But this is where we are now because of First Brands. And the supply chain is now starting to get really pinched. And now General Motors, when General Motors is panicking, you need to panic. You need to panic at this point because they GM was one of several other First Brand customers that recently approved to provide $48 million in cash to keep operations running. That's how important they are to General Motors. They gave them $40 million in cash, not cash in kind, not credit, cash.
Mm.
They have multiple legal disputes, which we've gone over. They oh my god. So they owe money to a lot of people. And then of course GM talking about how you have to have good supplies. So what we have here is this First Brands thing isn't just an end user problem. It's not just an Advanced Auto Parts problem. This is a Ford General Motors problem. And that's where we are with it. It is literally, the problem is gotten to the point where they are just they're sucking wind, and they're kind of having a real problem trying to fill the voids, because I mean, think about this: every car comes off the line with wiper blades. Every car, you have to have wiper blades. It is a federal law that a car must have wiper blades to be sold to drive on the street. Federal law. Trico is one of the larger manufacturers of wiper blades. It's, I mean, if you think about this, if General Motors can't get wiper blades for their vehicles, they can't sell them. They literally have to still sit and wait for wiper blades. And I'm at the point where it's like, how much worse is this going to actually get? Because they it's almost like pure disaster fuel at this point, where you're just going to have the supply chain completely collapse because one company folded. And I mean, this is really scary. And that's why I try to bring it up, because it's pretty scary at this point, where you're going to have supplies just disappearing at your local store, and manufacturing may get delayed because they don't have a part. So there's that mess, and that just keeps going and going on. That's the gift that keeps on giving. I've been talking about it since December, November, and it's not going away. And in fact, it's probably going to get a lot worse before it gets any better, if it gets better. So, where do I got here? Oh, okay. So I guess we can move on. The Detroit Auto Show. Now, it was hard to get any coverage on the Detroit Auto Show. There used to be like a big deal. And did you hear much about it?
I have not, actually.
Yeah, neither did I. I knew it existed.
Because it's not as exciting as it was.
No.
I don't think there's so many things to me that are entwined, whether it be as a general statement, like the economy, the overpriced cars, just more trucks, more SUVs. There's nothing. And I don't, like I said, I try to keep up with things that pop up here and there, and I've been catching up on a lot of other things, automotive wise. But no, shorts, anything that might pop up, nothing. I'm interesting you bring up this topic, because it didn't even enter my wheelhouse.
No, I remember when the auto show was something exciting, and you would want to go. I went every year in
Tampa. Even Tampa, I went every single November for a year. I haven't gone now 10 years.
There's no reason to go.
No.
4339JK. There's no Detroit Auto Show. Actually, no. The Ford and General Motors are there. They're still Detroit, and Stellantis is starting to bring stuff back, kind of, sort of. Oh wait, one of you guys running a dot matrix printer in the background. Yeah, I think that's Fluno. He's printing up. He's printing money. So he owns two old cars. Both BMW and a Lincoln. He needs all the help he can get.
It's a combination between the freight train that comes by now and then, the raccoons running around, and various exhaust people who think they're exhaust or sporty, and they're not. So you get the whole spectrum here on the porch.
Look at that 2006 F-150 with 300K.
I sold many of those. I sold many of
Damn.
those trucks.
That's a
Great,
bulletproof. Is that?
my favorite era. I love
I
those.
wonder if he has the 302 in it or the 5.4. I'm curious.
Or the
Hey,
six
Anthony, what? Or the
or
six?
the six cylinder 4.2.
What's in that, Anthony? Now we're curious. Does it have the 6 or does it have one of the 8s? Because I'm dead curious because that's good living there. Well, actually, if you just maintain a 4.6. Oh no. I'm not sure. Anthony's not sure. It's so damn good he doesn't care.
Well, it's obviously not a 5.4. Well, maybe it is. I'm not being derogatory, because if the oil passages get sludged up, they're just notorious as they get older to not flow as well. So probably the
Well,
4.6. They were more common.
to get 300K out of one, you're changing that oil. You're not just letting it go. You're not letting it go.
No. But I'm saying the 5.4 Triton had oil
Yeah,
passage problems. Even so, let me ask you
just small.
this: what is the trim level? I'll tell you exactly what the engine is. What's the trim level?
Oh yeah, come on, Anthony. What trim is it? And as we wait. All right, as we wait for Anthony to get back to fill us the trim, I bet it's a Lariat. I bet
That could be either one. That could be either 5.4
exactly.
or
I
4.6.
bet you it's a Lariat. The Detroit Auto Show. The first picture they use is of Aston Martins. I mean, they're beautiful, but okay, guys. So the 4 takeaways. Want to participate in the test ride-alongs? Yeah, there's gonna be a long wait. Yes, because there's a long wait for like the Bronco, the Ram truck, or the GMC Hummer. Make sure to check out the 2026 Car, Truck, and Utility of the Year. The 2025 Charger was named Car of the Year. We know how well that usually works out. Usually that car is a turd. Car of the
That's
Year is
all
like
propaganda. That's all just thrown to make it better than it is.
and the Ford Maverick Lobo was named Truck of the Year. I don't know if you can buy that. Seriously, despite the big three's recent pivot away from EVs, there were plenty of displays at the auto show. Well, they planned this months ago, talking about EV charging stations and boasting about their efficiency. Okay. Fun fact, the gallery, ultra luxury brands, these autos from renowned brands, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Maserati, Jaguar, and more, are simply stunning and akin to artwork found at DIA, whatever that is. I think it's the Detroit Institute of Art. So here we go. Cadillac Formula One car. Yes, Cadillac is racing in Formula One. They're using a Ferrari engine this year. They have 2 decent drivers. One of them's Valtteri Bottas, who's absolutely hilarious. He's actually interesting. He's an interesting person, so good for him. I don't expect much. I expect them maybe to finish races, hopefully. They had old movie cars, the Starsky and Hutch, for Gran Torino, and yeah, so they had that there. They had a 68 Mustang GT Fastback driven by McQueen and Bullitt. Oh, there's only 2 of those, so I don't know how they got one of those there. Lifted K10 from Fall Guy. Oh, that was a cool truck.
That's cool.
Yeah. Let's see.
Those were more popular than the new vehicles that are being thrown around.
Oh, absolutely. That's why they threw this stuff in here.
Right.
They have an Indy car there. Who cares? They had puppies. They had puppies.
Yeah.
They had puppies. Here we go. Bronco Mountain. Look at that. Ford, which on January 13th unveiled the 2027 Bronco RTR, invites guests into the passenger seat to experience the Bronco's abilities and features. Track includes a steep side hill, tilt ridge, and massive Bronco Mountain. I love that. They had the first two roof panels out. Nice. That's the way to go, man. Got to let the Camp Jeep. The indoor track is back. So you have your Jeeps on there. No pictures. Here's Cadillac with their futuristic car. Okay. With the floppy doors. And according to the car, would feature 2 different drive modes. First mode, Elevate, would synchronize with the occupant and environment to optimize performance recovery. Enhance one state of being. The second, Velocity mode, would combine hyper performance capability with the confidence to explore beyond the pavement. Okay. Okay. F2. Here we go.
That's
150
yep,
XLT with the
yep,
Triton.
with
There
the
you
Triton.
go. He
Yep,
got a
that's the
Triton. He
option.
changed that oil a lot. He
That's fine. Well,
changed.
hey, he's obviously done a great job with 300,000 miles. I'm not poo-pooing the engine. It's just that those are very maintenance specific because of the oil passages. Great. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yes, when now I see the thing is we have a town here named Lutz, so I probably say his name wrong. I bet it's Lutz. And I just did a
Yeah.
video where I said his name a lot and I probably said it wrong. That's gonna be great. So yeah, Bob Lutz. Yeah, when he drove that Cherokee through the plate glass window, that was absolutely that's marketing. That is absolutely that's tier one marketing
What did he
because
do?
he took he took a Cherokee when it first came out from Chrysler
Yeah.
and they'd updated it and he drove it through a window at the Detroit Auto Show. I think it was Detroit. They had a window set up. He drove it right through the window. Freaking absolutely this was a boss moment. That was
That's
his
cool.
boss. He was a car guy. See, that was the thing.
Yep.
That's why he should have been the head of Chrysler, not Bob Eaton, who
That was
um
Zimmer.
yeah. Tiffany Classic. So it's this copy of a Zimmer. Let's see, it's modded, kid friendlies, and the U.S. Army had a Abrams tank prototype there.
Oh.
So there you go. That's the auto show. Yeah. So obviously not very interesting.
No.
Uh, I mean, they're supposed to wait. The one in Tampa is what? It's around Thanksgiving.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Same thing in
But I
Orlando.
haven't even heard about it anymore. They used to always advertise. You get the $5 off, this and that, whatever. I even actually sold a GT500 because I met a man. I was working the Ford booth, obviously. Met with him. I still have my pink slip from all that, and great guy. And he bought a Vapor Gray, which was the color of my GT, Vapor Gray GT500 because of the auto show. But I don't even hear about it anymore.
No,
Does this still even happen?
it does, but there's what is there to promote?
No.
I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing to really say that, hey, this is something great coming out. This is Mr. and Mrs. America. Here's your new family
Right.
car that you need,
Right.
or here's your new performance car. There really is not a. There's really not a. Not a lot of that wow factor anymore because the internet
No.
shows a lot of this stuff, and then it just really doesn't. It just doesn't go well. You know what I mean? It's just like, and I mean, there's really not a lot to.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. I actually found it. If we want to see Bob do this. So hold on, I'm going to share the screen on this one because why not? We'll give the people what they want. So
Is this
here's
like back in '93?
1992. Yes, when they first did
Yeah.
it, the live
Yeah.
presentation of the '93 Grand Cherokee. Wow, look how
Wow.
early it is. January 7th. Where's the volume? Turn that off. I don't need that. I'll probably get copyrighted for the friggin' music.
Right.
Oh, come on. There's so much. All right, so much build up. All right, hold on.
Wow. Look at that classic.
The music is really obnoxious.
This is January of '93.
92, like a year before,
92.
almost a year before. Here it is, Grand Cherokee. Driving it off the lot. Driving it up. Driving it outside. Driving it on the street. Driving it down. Like the OJ chase.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, we're driving. We're driving. We're driving. We're driving. We're driving. We're driving. Like, oh, I mean, seriously.
Jeez.
Where is it? I hate this. Wait, hold on. Here we go. Here we go.
Went up the stairs. Oh,
That is all right. That is boss. That is
Yeah.
literally boss. That's seriously, that's boss.
Yeah.
I remember that, and yeah, it's still boss. Seeing it now, Christ, what 35 years later?
34 years ago. Yeah.
I mean, wow, that is still boss. Wow, so cool. Thanks for that suggestion. Rooney 00. I was in a rollover accident when those Jeeps. Oh Jesus, yeah, they were not known for their incredible stability. Yeah, they're a little high center of gravity there. Let's see.
But you know what's amazing? Look how small that is in comparison to what we have now, and that was a full-size SUV. Yeah,
that was a full-size SUV. That is amazing. I mean, it's actually it's so stunning when you drive. We had the '95 convertible. When you drive that car, how tiny you feel compared to just normal crap on the road.
Yes,
I'm not even talking pickup trucks. I'm talking just SUVs. Just regular SUVs, even like the Escape, you feel tiny next to an Escape in a regular mid-size or actually guess large compact. It's kind of large compact, car. Coupe.
Well, remember my Kona next to your E30, and
oh my god,
that it looked like a dang, like
it looked like a monster truck. It looked like a monster truck next to my car. Yeah, when I drive my 89, holy crap. I mean, everything is everything towers over me, and it's like
scary. Yeah.
But the thing is, even driving my Charger, I can't see over things because my Charger's normal car height.
That's right.
And there aren't a lot of cars. Everything's an SUV or a truck, and I can't see over them. I mean, literally, it's just
and they can't see us. That's the scary part too, actually.
Well, I guess they're supposed to be able to. I don't know.
Well.
Oh my god! Wow, I got very lightly rear-ended while making a right-hand turn. Jeep went right over. Oh my god, that's almost like in NASCAR when they give you that little love bump. Damn, that's really unstable. Like a vehicle shouldn't flip when you get tagged in the ass like that. You really shouldn't. I mean, that's impressive. Oh my god! So basically, a $50 $50 little bumper thing became the vehicle's totaled. Hold on. G Cannon. I knew a woman finally made it big. She worked her own business for years before it went well. Bought a brand new huge SUV to celebrate. 2 weeks later, she rolled it and died. Is it not ironic?
Don't you think?
It's like rain on your wedding day, which isn't even ironic. So, yeah. Oh man, but the one last thing, I don't even have a story for it, but there's one last thing. We were talking before the show because it's so weird when you have older cars, the weird crap you have to do to make things work. Because we have a 95 BMW and in the rear panel in the back seat, the clips are made of plastic and they broke. And of course, that panel is unobtainium. I mean, literally, it is purely unobtainium. And so I had to go and I had to make new clips out of picture hangers. You bend them into the right shape, and then you use epoxy and glue them on. That is how you fix old cars, and people don't know it. Without a giant budget, you fix stuff like that. I mean, there's been a lot of times where even on my Charger, I've had to do things where it's like, I got to find a way to fix this. Okay, I got an idea. And you start making something because
that was the old joke at Lincoln Land. I'd be like, hey, my good friend, his name is John Harrell, great guy. And this is back many, many moons ago, but like, hey, this and that, bro, JB Weld, blah, 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 JB Weld. It was like everything you could fix everything with JB
Weld.
It's like, just JB Weld. Like, okay, is there any other thing we can use? You can't find those, just JB Weld. And he would say it so nonchalantly, just do it. So,
I mean, honestly, one of the best things you can do if you have an old car is being able to make stuff. You don't have to be able to weld, but just be kind of like, okay, you got to look at it and go, what else can I use to fix this?
Right.
Because like on the E36, they had these 2 little panels with these little air deflectors, and they were destroyed. And I got new ones from the good China, Taiwan.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the plastic that on the car itself, I had a mount on there. Of course, it's brittle BMW plastic, so I had to like redo things. I actually had made an L bracket out of some steel I had, and I used a bolt with a giant washer higher up on the plastic so I could hold it together. I mean, this is the type of stuff you have to be a little bit creative on an older car, because sometimes stuff is unobtainium and there's no way to actually do this. And I honest to God, I just it boggles the mind, how people ask, well, it's so much fun having an old car. Not really, because if you're not very wealthy, you
Yeah.
be creative.
Yeah.
You
And
got to
that
be
plastic is so brittle. I mean, it's literally, because you know where my top, I mean, it's all disintegrated. And literally, you touch it, it's like it is so old. And I've never held plastic that is so crumbly.
Mhm.
And you move it the wrong way, you're done.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, exactly. So that's and that's one of the things a lot of we're going to start running into with a lot of these cars, because cars are now 12 years old, on 12 or 13 years old on average. Stuff like that's going to start breaking on those cars. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of, I'm kind of worried. You're going to kind of become a little Cuban, because you're going to have to be able to find ways to fix stuff without going broke. I mean,
Sure.
seriously, you're going to learn different epoxies. You're going to learn how to make epoxies.
Well, it's
Because
funny because when Dan and I, as my buddy, and we're talking about the door cards and how luckily the clips didn't break, just how the backing fell off the door. Guess what we used? JB Well. There it
yeah,
came. We joked about it. It was the epoxy style, but we're like, hey Dan, JB Well, here it is. So, and you know what? Now it's nice and shuts perfectly. Thank God the clips were not broke, because like you said, unobtainium and cheap plastic. Careful.
yeah. Yeah, Jamie Cotton's calling me MacGyver. Every old car owner has to have some of that in them, because there is this stuff that, like,
Yeah.
there's pieces of my charger that just are not available. They literally are not made. Like, or if you try to buy them, like I had a problem with one of my air conditioning vents, and I took it out of the car, which was a process in itself.
Mhm.
Horrible. And I had to sit there, and I took my soldering iron and some extra plastic from a zip tie, and I re-welded the little nub that was damaged, that undid itself, and so now they work. And then you also use Loctite blue inside the area where they slide, and you just
Mhm.
keep moving it as it dries, and it will dry to a certain point, and then it'll make them tight. Just a little bit of Loctite blue, because good Lord, this is the type of stuff you have to do when you have an old car, because you can't just walk down to the street and buy a new part. It doesn't exist. It's like,
Well,
yeah.
here's one. So the passenger side door handle of the Z3, which ironically looks just like a 635 from the mid 80s. I'm not joking. Same exact style.
Probably
Of
is.
course, where it bolts into the door, it had broken over the years, and finding that center part where the bolt goes in, just again, not going to be there. Well, that's okay. Thanks to our favorite JV Weld with the new putty style. No, Dan and I basically made a filler that would go in, let it sit for like 3 hours, whatever, put a hole through, and literally recreated how it goes in and mounts to the door. And let me tell you, luckily people don't come and go out of there, but it works perfectly. It literally, because luckily the mounting bracket was still there where the metal was. It was just all that filler was gone. And so it couldn't grasp. So we literally caked it all up and made
Yeah.
the Temu version of a 3D printer, and it worked. Yeah, it was manually 3D printed, and just like deodorant, just
that is the next big purchase I'm doing. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to start making 3D parts. There's plenty of files, and on my charger, I have things that are unobtainium that are plastic that I need to make. And I'll be able to do the stuff for the BMWs, because good Lord, I mean, some of the things that BMW has, the little part, and it's like $55, and I'm like, Okay, that's a lot of money. So I mean, 3D printing. If honestly, everybody, if you haven't started doing it, probably start looking into ways to do it, and
Sure.
what is the best stuff, and where to get the files, and start doing your research now, because this may be this is the next step, and the materials are getting harder, a little more durable. The metal ones still are way too expensive, because there actually is ones that 3D print metal, real
Wow.
metal, but the machines are very expensive. And I'm honestly, that's the next step for me, and I'll be doing that this summer, because dear Lord, I it boggles my mind when I have to try to like buy. It's like, how much is this? Jesus, it's like this little piece of plastic is $60. Are you serious?
Yeah.
And I can't get it anywhere else. Well, I guess I'm kind of screwed. Yeah. Wow. But and one more little thing though, and because this is still something that's happening. Everybody, I saw a lot of comments, and I'm kind of finished with this. Um, People are talking about what's driving the prices up, and it's this place. This is a classic car financing place. This is Best Bank. Nothing against them. Probably do very good business. Um, you know, but this is why when you see auto auctions where cars sell for six figures, most of the time it isn't a very wealthy person buying it. Um, oh my God, LB Bruin 7958 exhaust valves cost $23 each. Whoa, 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 whoa! What type of are they? Are they titanium? I mean, what type of valves are these? $23 for exhaust valves? Holy Christ! Because I think my 340, they're only like 12 or 14. And those are for the decent ones. Come on. You have to let me know what they are, cuz $23 for a valve is like crazy. That's crazy pricing. He's leaving me hanging. Well, he'll get back to that. So, stock, that's what what? A shop charged you $23 for a exhaust valve? Did they cut it and stuff? I mean, $23 is steep for an exhaust valve. Damn. Okay. Holy crap. What type of engine is that on? Seriously, I need to know that now. I need to know. Told me they'd be hard getting them as well. All right, what engine is this? Is this on a 383 440 Lamborghini V10? I mean, I know that if the Porsche, I know on Porsche you could use Volkswagen ones, because 383. Holy crap, out of 383? Oh my God. Well, it doesn't matter 66 or not. They're all the same. Holy crap. That's psychotic. Wow. That is insane. Was that installed? Because that's craziness, man. That's craziness. $26, $23 each. Oh my God. That can't be. It has to be installed. Wow. Because wait a minute. Let me go here. Let me go to Summit Racing. 383 exhaust. It's the same as a 440 installed. Okay, that's reasonable. That actually isn't that crazy, because to install them, it's actually a pain in the ass. Okay, I thought they just sold you the valve. Yeah, the valves. Let's see, Chrysler, a set of 18. Oh wow, they're expensive. Did you 8 of them? Holy mackerel! Holy mackerel! Yeah. So at oh my God, that's on eBay. That's not what I wanted. One Summit Chrysler 383 valves. Here we go. 383 valves. Trick flow. Don't show it. Got it. Trick flow replacement valves. Holy mackerel! They have become unobtainium. Well, all right. So let me show this. This is insane. This is craziness. Okay. So trick flow, which is a little bit of a better flowing valve, 8 of them, $200 from Summit. Eight of them for $200. That's like that's over $30 a piece. Okay. And then Melling, which is a just basic replacement, there's $16. That's the exhaust valve. 1.76 exhaust valve. Trick flow replacement, 27. Holy God, they only have 7 left. Mildon, set of 8, 156. That's still $20 a piece. Mildon are pretty good. They're pretty good quality. That's a stainless steel valve. That's a good valve. That's a good valve. Holy mackerel. What did I do? I did something here. Okay. Wow. Yeah, look at that. I paid around $8 a piece for the small block 2 years ago. Yeah, no kidding. There's 439JK. There's only one brand on Rock Auto. 2 for 31. Oh my God, Rock Auto quality. Holy mackerel. That's insane. So yeah, I mean, this is at least a stainless. This is what you'd want, a stainless steel. And that's still steep though. $20 a valve.
Oof.
Jesus Christ. So if the intakes are the same, you're going to be $300 just in valves, not installed, just in the valves. You're $300. Holy mackerel. Well, here we go. Each. Oh my God, race valves. Each. Mildon. Is that the 1/8? That's the intakes. Here's 2-inch. Oh my God. Wow. And there's only one page of valves. There's literally only one page of valves for a 383. Holy mackerel. I mean, this is one of the most common engines Chrysler had. Plus, this is the same as the 440. I mean, dear God. Holy mackerel. 361. All the R and RBs. They had the same type of heads. Holy mackerel. Wow. Qualcast made in Tennessee. Okay, that's half a chance. That's half a chance not being garbage. Jeez. Melling's made in USA. Melling's actually pretty good. I have Melling stuff. It's been good to me. Mildon. Yeah. So where's Mildon made? Because everybody likes Mildon. You have your Mildon oil pan. No country of origin. Oopsie. Uh-oh. Yep. So I don't know. I would almost assume they're made in America. But you know what happens when you assume. Wow. That was weird. Rock Auto, where all the good nose stuff is. Amazon is knockoff Chinecom. Yeah. Rock Auto, you can do pretty good on there if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, Dienzo's good on there. He does some good shopping.
You can do pretty good on there. Amazon, you can actually do good if you know what you're looking for. And if you have to inspect it when you get it to make sure it's the original part. I mean, you're right about the China knockoff thing, but they do sell original stuff on there too. But yeah, Rock Auto, if you know what you're looking for, you can really do well. Especially if they're doing a closeout on something, you can clean up. I mean, absolutely just clean up.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's just, yeah. And then when I use is carparts.com. That's where I got the pieces for the E36, the two little aero flap things in the front that underneath the brake ducts. I got a pair of them for $15. How am I going to complain over that? I mean, they were not made of the same plastic as the original, but they were in the good China. So they were good from Taiwan to good China. So there's that. Dear God, I'm going to have to do a whole thing on car parts, like the pricing, because this has gotten psychotic. I mean, seriously, this is literally psychotic how much this is. That you just have the price. I'm going to look up my 340. I'm going to look up my 340 because I had to do valves on this a while ago. Valves, Chrysler. Come on. Because I had a little oopsie and I kind of cracked an engine. Just slightly did something wrong. and I had to do a whole rebuild. Make and model, but because this may be something to kind of look at, because this is insanity at this point. It's truly, truly insanity. Think about that for a second. Chrysler, Dodge, Mopar. Because when's the last time you like seen valves? Like, they used to be what, $8 a piece, $6 a piece, and now they're like friggin' like $20 a piece. My 340 has special valves. My 340 has special valves because it's special in a good way, allegedly. Let's see. Search for results. Valves. All right. So, nothing. All right. So they don't even have any. Oh wait, they don't even have any. Oh well. Well, I tried. So what else is going on there, Fluno? Nothing.
Oh, really, actually, not much to report here. Really, just like I said, catching up on much more automotive stuff than I normally just flip across, because again, I always appreciate you having me on here. And, what I like to do is just send you things I see, since this is your show. So if I find something of interest, I'd rather flip it to you to, I'm going to flip it over, and then we can just discuss from there. So I'm always, like I said, it's just amazing how the news feed is filled with all of this money lost. That's just what I see, as because I send you things. It's just amazing how this is a topic, but yet in the same weird way, it's almost like the 500-pound elephant that it kind of gets brushed under the radar. No one wants to acknowledge the amount of money being wasted by the auto companies, the first brands. I still haven't seen anything really about that as far as, but that's discussing this. Not too much, really, anything else exciting. Like, it's a beautiful day today. As you can tell, I'm not bundled up on the porch. It's nice, little chillier now, but the last couple days have been perfect for the Z3. And it's been very nice to be driving that around. So the happiness has
And if
come
you
back.
have a cool car or a fun car, take it out, because you'll make someone's day, and it'll probably be your own, which is true. It is
Very true.
incredibly true. So yeah, I actually found the valves for my 340, and it is absolutely, they're scary. Here, let me share this, because this is scary. Milled-on street stainless valves, because this is what I used. This is exactly what I used. They're $20 a piece now for the 202s. I know I didn't pay that much. I think I paid $8. I may have paid a little less. For the same one, so milled-on stainless. I know I have stainless on my car. $20 a piece, and there's only 2 left in stock. And this is at Summit. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Parts are going to get hard to find. Some stupid stuff, man. You're just not going to be able to get it. Wow.
And it used to be a hobby that, whether you were, like Lincolns have always been just kind of unique cars. Like, this is, my wheelhouse, but you could have had any type of car and you could find these parts overall inexpensive. And now it's becoming such a rich man's game. And it's sad, because it takes away that enjoyment of, even if you're doing it yourself, you still have to lay out hundreds of dollars for these things. And if you're not totally skilled like you or Dan, I'm not going to include myself on that at all. I mean, I'm more of an interior kind of guy, this and that, whatever. But mechanically, like this, obviously I can do some mechanical work, but if you can't do it yourself, you're going to pay a shop now $120 an hour to do it?
Oh, easily.
Easily.
And I mean, that's not even a joke. It is that much now. It is that much. I mean, so wait, LB Bruin over here, Bruins, says he has a video on his 66 66 satellite. Was it satellite?
Oh, very cool.
His 383 car. Hold on. I'm actually going to pull it up, see if I can find it. because
Okay.
I'm doing it the hard way because I'm not very smart at times. Um, because there are times I do things that I don't understand what I'm doing, and this is one of those times. Uh, let me copy this name. Let's see if I can LB
Newport.
Newport. Oh, that's right. He has the big car. He's got one of the big cars. I love that's right. We talked about that. I love those cars. Uh those are I remember we had like I said, yeah, I had one by my house. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Let's see. There do 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 do. He likes going fast. I like that. Let's see. LB Bruins. There we go.
While you're looking for that, Dennis, I'm gonna find some photos. I know I'll be seeing you in a couple weeks. I only have a few, and they're not really. I mean, they're kind of in the background. But my dad had purchased, I believe, it was a '69 Plymouth, very white four door. This, I mean, I bought it brand new, but I don't know much about it. And maybe with some of the photos I have, if I can find them, you could help identify what Plymouth my dad actually owned.
All right, hold on. Let's have this. Wait, let me get the sound up on this because this is a cold start on this 383. And hold on, let me get it up on screen. All right. This is what you do when you have a Chrysler. This is literally what you have to do. You have to you have to damn well double check everything and go, okay.
Like it's an aircraft. Gotta make sure.
Yeah, exactly. Literally.
How cool.
Look at that, man. Oh my God. That's right. It has a dress up package because it's a Chrysler.
That's so cool.
All right, let's see. He's going to start this up at 25 degrees.
Oof.
Wait, I heard it.
I love that dash.
Damn. Oh, almost. Third one's the charm. You hit a hummingbird going.
Yeah, see, I don't get sound on my end, unfortunately. That's okay.
I hope that people can hear this because it's insane.
But as we say, pump it 3 more times. There we go. Pump it.
There it is. Oh, and it stalled.
Yeah, that's okay. That's believe me, that happens on Lincolns too, not just Chrysler.
Oh no, any carburetor car when it's cold.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Ooh, that sounds nice. I have no idea if the sound is going through because I am unsure, but that was really cool. So there we go. And there it's running. Damn. Oh, look at that. So yeah, no sound. Ah, damn it. Damn you. Damn you, YouTube. Damn you, YouTube. I hate you, YouTube. YouTube, and I hate you, StreamYard, you bastard. That's terrible.
The evil tech companies.
The evil tech companies.
Big tech.
See the green cold light? Yes. Oh well. You know what I'll do? I can probably download it and I can replay it from a video file. Because we need to have
what's the green cold light mean? I mean,
I don't know.
It's telling you.
I have no idea.
Well, no, because what's funny is that on even my Kona, if it or not I don't know if the Kona does it, but the Elantra, if it got below 40 degrees, it would let you know, like to this kind of have a slower, kind of the old school way of warmer up. It's kind of funny how if that's what the green light was for, is to say, hey, take it easy for a little bit. What does that mean?
Because it wants the oil to get warm. That's the big BMWs
cool.
do that too. They want the oil to get warm. Well, the thing is with my charger, I have a thermoquad on there, and they need to choke badly because it's a big carburetor.
Sure.
And I actually can start mine from sitting. It actually can start on this second spin. But then again, I also have a high torque starter on mine now because I was tired of the I was a little tired of that. But yeah, and then the choke, and then you just watch the RPMs go up, and then the choke's open. Yeah, but it's nothing like cold starting an old car.
Yeah.
And I granted it for me, cold starting it was in the 40s, but I did start that car when it was I think it went to the coldest I ever started. It was 12 degrees outside, and that was miserable. So there's that. All right, we've been on for almost 2 hours, and I'm guessing it's time to call it a show. Oh, they have a cold in 66. They had a light on there when the coolant warms up to tell you that the car is at the temperature. That is friggin' amazing. That's one of those Chrysler. That's one of those Chrysler things that nobody remembers. I never knew that. That's the coolest thing. I have now learned that. No temp meter that year, so it's basically an idiot light, but they use it both ways. And it's red when it's too hot.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No. You're screwed at that point. All right. So this was a fun evening. Thank you all for being here, and thank you all for watching it on replay, because I know you did. And if you liked it, like it, please. If you if you haven't seen my stuff before, hey, subscribe. Hit the little bell so you can get reminded there, Sue. And also, red light means pull over. You're damn straight.
Yeah. But hey, at least it's iron block, so it's not really gonna. I mean, I'm saying you have some time. I mean, believe me, we've all had the red light come on, like, oh no.
But yeah, so yeah, and also, so, and I'm gonna have I try to have at least one video a week. I used to try to do Tuesdays, but I'm in the middle of parade season right now, which in Florida is like our Mardi Gras kind of thing. My whole weeks are messed up. So
actually, Dennis, before we wrap up real quick, since we're talking about parade season here and potentially some conversations that happen, is there any updates on the Toronado progress?
No. There's no updates. Okay. No. The owner is too busy posting beautiful sunrises. So I'm gonna have to lean on him a little bit at this point, because I don't want to be working when it's 95 degrees outside.
Nope.
I had to do brakes on it. I gotta retune the carburetor, do some a little bit of electrical, and the car should at least be drivable. But yeah, so there's that. We're considering Ocala to move to. Well, Florida's full. Georgia's nice. I heard that Alabama's okay too. No offense. So CG Canada just almost destroyed his Crown Vic.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah, 5 cylinders. Oh, I guess the wife drove it. That could happen. 8.5 back cylinder. 8.5 back cylinder. So yeah, so video. I'm gonna have a neat little retrospective of Lee Iacocca, and that'll be coming out tomorrow. And I will be saying Bob Lutz's name wrong multiple times, because I just said it there. I won't be saying Lutz. I'm being Lutz, because there's a town here named Lutz, and that's just the way I am. Oh no, it was full. Yeah, you lose 3 cylinders, it's usually destroyed because the bearings are eaten.
What year was that?
I think he had a early 80s Crown Vic.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so I have video coming out, and I have them coming out all the time. And next week we'll have another one of these wonderful things. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your mom, tell your dad. Hey, we're gonna talk about car stuff because we like cars. And 83. I knew it. I knew it. Mr. Global Car. Yes, they did buy Lamborghini. So yeah, as always, if you have something cool or something fun, take it out, because it'll make someone's day. It'll probably be your own. And I hope to catch you very soon. Bye for now.
Good night, everyone.
If you liked what you saw, subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for watching to this point. And as always, if you have a cool car or something fun to drive, take it out. you'll make someone's day, probably your own.